They say Dracula was the first vampire. But what if I told you that's a lie? Tonight, we count down the 10 most powerful vampires of all time. And number 1 isn't Dracula, Alucard, or even Klaus Mikaelson. Our number 1 is the very first vampire. Sorin. Welcome to Skaridrak, your home for vampires, werewolves, and creatures of the night. Subscribe and let's dive into the shadows together. Starting off, our list at number 10 is Marceline, the vampire queen from Adventure. Time, while she may appear playful and whimsical. Don't be fooled, Marceline is centuries old, and her power as a vampire is formidable. She possesses immortality, meaning she can live for centuries without aging, and during that time she has honed her abilities to perfection. She can shapeshift into bats, demons, or other creatures, allowing her to move unseen, evade enemies, and strike with precision. Marceline can also levitate and fly, giving her a strategic advantage in both combat and stealth. One of her most unique abilities is the power to absorb the red from objects to sustain herself, a skill that allows her to survive without relying solely on blood from living creatures. Her musical talent is not just for show. It reflects her creativity, adaptability, and cunning, all traits that make her an unpredictable opponent. Though she may not have the raw, destructive power of some other vampires on this list, Marceline's versatility, intelligence, and centuries of experience make her a powerful and respected figure in the world of the undead. A vampire who can play, trick, and terrorize. Marceline reminds us that power isn't just about brute strength sometimes. It's about cunning, experience, and the ability to adapt. That's why she earns the number 10 spot on our countdown of the most powerful vampires of all time. Number 9, the brutal, bloodthirsty, and utterly savage. Godbrand is one of the most fearsome vampires in his universe. Unlike the refined and strategic types we often see, Godbrand embodies raw destruction. He is immortal, with superhuman strength and speed that allow him to rip through armies with terrifying ease. But what sets Godbrand apart is his affinity for fire. Unlike most vampires who rely on claws and fangs alone, Godbrand can summon and manipulate flames, scorching his enemies in an inferno of destruction. His fiery attacks combined with his sheer physical power make him a nightmare on the battlefield. He revels in chaos and bloodshed, thriving in the heat of combat where others might hesitate. Still, what makes Godbrand dangerous also makes him reckless. His bloodlust often drives him to excess, and his hunger for battle can cloud his judgment. Yet, in terms of raw power, savagery, and the ability to annihilate anyone who stands in his way, Godbrand secures his place as one of the most powerful vampires of all time, earning him the number 9 spot on our list. At number 8, we have Marius de Romanus, one of the oldest and most influential vampires in Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. Born in the days of ancient Rome, Marius has walked the earth for nearly 2,000 years, and with that age comes wisdom, patience. Marius is a guardian, the keeper of secrets and protector of Akasha, the queen of the damned. His immortality is enhanced by his centuries of learning, art, philosophy, and history flow through him, making him not only a predator but also a scholar of the night. Marius possesses the classic powers of a vampire: superhuman strength, speed, and regeneration. But what truly sets him apart is his vast knowledge and control. He understands the vampire world better than most, and his ability to endure through centuries of war, betrayal, and bloodshed makes him a survivor among predators. Though he may not unleash fiery destruction like Godbrand, Marius's strength lies in mastery and endurance. He represents the refined, ancient side of vampirism, a reminder that true power can be measured not just by force, but by wisdom and control. That's why Marius de Romanus holds the number 8 spot on our list of the most powerful vampires of all time. At number 7, we have Akasha, the Queen of the Damned, the very first vampire in Unrice's Chronicles. She is not just a predator. She is the origin of the entire vampire race, born thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt. Akasha was transformed by dark spirits into the immortal mother of all vampires. Akasha possesses powers far beyond ordinary immortals. She is nearly indestructible, with telepathy and telekinesis that allow her to control both minds and matter. Her mere presence can bend lesser vampires to her will, making her not just an individual threat, but the ruler of an entire species. Her beauty is legendary, but it hides a ruthless will to dominate the world of both humans and vampires. What makes Akasha so terrifying is her vision. She sees herself as a goddess, destined to rule over humanity, with all vampires under her command. Her hunger for power is as endless as her immortality, and when she awakens, the entire vampire world trembles. Akasha is not just a queen, she is the damned incarnate. And for that reason, she takes the number 7 spot on our list of the most powerful vampires of all time. Next, we step away from the ancient lords and queens to face a different kind of predator blade. The Daywalker. Half human, half vampire. Blade is one of the deadliest hunters ever to walk the night. Born from tragedy, his mother was bitten while giving birth, cursing him with vampiric traits, but also granting him incredible strengths. Blade has all the powers of a vampire: superhuman speed, strength, agility, and heightened senses, yet he does not suffer from their greatest weakness, the sun. This makes him unique among immortals, able to hunt his prey by day or night. Armed with an arsenal of weapons, silver blades, stakes, firearms, and his iconic sword Blade has become the ultimate hunter of his own kind. But Blade is more than a hunter, he is relentless. His willpower, combat mastery, and refusal to surrender to the thirst make him stronger than many pure-blood vampires. He doesn't just fight to survive. He fights to eradicate the very creatures that created him. In a world filled with predators, Blade is the predator of predators. And that's why he earns the number 6 spot on our list of the most powerful vampires of all time. Next we have Selene, the death dealer from the Underworld saga. Unlike most vampires who live in the shadows, Selene was raised as a warrior, trained to hunt and destroy lichens with precision and ruthless efficiency. She is not just a vampire, she is a soldier of the night. Selene possesses all the classic powers of her kind: superhuman strength, speed, agility, and razor-sharp reflexes. But what sets her apart is her relentless training and mastery of combat. With centuries of experience, she moves like a shadow, striking with flawless precision, using both blades and firearms. As the story unfolds, Selene evolves even further, becoming a vampire-lichen hybrid, inheriting the strengths of both species. This transformation pushes her abilities beyond anything seen before, granting her unmatched speed, resilience, and ferocity. She becomes a living weapon, feared by both vampires and werewolves alike. What makes Selene truly terrifying is her determination. She doesn't just fight for blood, she fights for vengeance, survival, and ultimately for love. A warrior with the discipline of a soldier and the power of a hybrid. Selene earns the number 5 spot as one of the most powerful vampires of all time. Next, we have Klaus Mikaelson, the original, hybrid and one of the most dangerous immortals in vampire lore. Born as the son of a werewolf bloodline but turned into one of the first vampires, Klaus became something truly unique, the world's very first vampire-werewolf hybrid. His power is unmatched. Klaus possesses strength, speed, and healing far beyond any ordinary vampire. But with his werewolf heritage, his abilities are amplified to terrifying levels. He can compel with a glance, rip through enemies with brutal force, and recover from nearly any wound. Unlike others of his kind, Klaus is immune to most of the weaknesses that threaten vampires, making him nearly indestructible. But it isn't just his physical strength that makes him so dangerous, it's his mind. Klaus is cunning, manipulative, and ruthless, willing to destroy entire families and kingdoms to achieve his goals. He inspires fear not just with his power, but with his relentless ambition and unbreakable will, whether in battle or in strategy. Klaus Mikaelson stands as a true monster of legend, a predator forged by both bloodlines. For his sheer dominance, cunning, and unshakable immortality, he earns the number for spot as one of the most powerful vampires of all time. At number 3, we have Lestat de Lioncourt, perhaps the most infamous vampire from Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles. Known as the Brat Prince, Lestat is both feared and adored. A creature who thrives in the spotlight as much as he does in the shadows. Lestat is not your typical predator. He is flamboyant, charismatic, and theatrical, embracing immortality as though it were a stage play. But behind his charm lies terrifying strength, superhuman speed, agility, and endurance, as well as the ability to fly and communicate telepathically. With centuries of experience, his power only grows, making him one of the deadliest vampires of his age. What truly sets Lestat apart, however, is his spirit. Unlike many vampires who brood over eternity, Lestat revels in it. He sings, he plays, he loves, and he destroys with equal passion. His hunger is not just for blood, but for life itself, and that makes him unpredictable, dangerous, and unforgettable. With his blend of charisma, cruelty, and immense supernatural power, Lestat de Lioncourt secures the number 3 spot on our list of the most powerful vampires of all time. Next, we have the most iconic vampire of them all, Count Dracula. Inspired by the ruthless ruler Vlad the Impaler, Dracula is the immortal lord of darkness who has haunted literature, film, and legend for centuries. He is not just a monster. He is the blueprint, the very foundation of everything we imagine when we think of vampires. Dracula's powers are vast and terrifying. He can shapeshift into a bat, a wolf, or even a sinister mist. He commands storms, bends nature to his will, enslaves the minds of mortals, and moves with the strength and speed of a predator. His immortality makes him nearly impossible to destroy, while his intelligence and cunning allow him to outwit even the bravest of hunters. But Dracula's greatest strength lies in the fear he inspires. He is the whisper in the night, the shadow at the window, the cold, uncheckable presence within a forgotten castle. His legend has outlived empires, carried his terror from the mountains of Transylvania into every corner of modern culture and beyond. Dracula is not merely a vampire. He is the eternal Lord of Blood, the everlasting symbol of horror itself. And for that reason, he earns the number to spot on our list of the most powerful vampires of all time. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 1, Sorin, the very first vampire, the progenitor of all immortals. Long before Dracula, Lestat, or any vampire walked the earth, Sorin existed, born of darkness and ancient blood magic. His power unmatched by any creature of the night. He is not simply a vampire. He is the origin, the blueprint from which every other vampire descends. The living embodiment of eternal darkness. Sorin possesses all powers imaginable: immortality, shapeshifting, superhuman strength and speed, regeneration, mind control, and mastery over shadows and blood. Legends say he can bend the will of lesser vampires and humans alike, summoning storms, beasts, and darkness itself to his command. His presence alone can corrupt, terrify, and dominate, leaving even the bravest warriors trembling in fear. What truly sets Sorin apart is his intelligence and ancient knowledge accumulated over millennia. He understands the nature of life, death, and blood more deeply than any mortal or immortal. His vision and mastery over the forces of night make him a godlike figure, a predator without rival, whose influence stretches across centuries and continents. Sorin is the ultimate predator, a shadow walking among the living, the first to taste immortality, and the one who shaped the destiny of every vampire to come. He is eternal, unstoppable, and all-powerful. For these reasons, Sorin claims the number 1 spot as the most powerful vampire of all time, reigning supreme above all others in the dark history of the night.